How's it going, everybody? Going to take a few minutes and go over some of the questions that I've received over the last couple of days, and I've picked out these three that I actually thought are perfect kind of discussion topics because there's a mix of questions that people have when they're first starting out, and then there's somebody who's the last one down here, and I'll read all these who has a kind of a well thought out plan and is kind of going through the challenges of just dealing with you know kind of looking for certain niches, categories, getting sales, not getting sales. But anyways, let's go through these. I'll start with this one because it's interesting and I actually liked it, and it goes like this. It says, I saw some t-shirt designs around 1 million bestseller rank BSR. They got some sales with reviews, but it was too old and added in, let's say, 2019, 2017, 2020. Is that good? Is that good niche? Can I make? So is that a good niche, or does it make sense to make designs on that niche? Is time important on merch? So my opinion on this is the time doesn't matter. I mean, unless you're talking about products, for example, that are in very specific trends that are not on people's minds anymore, it doesn't matter if it was listed in 2017 or 18. If you actually have narrowed it down and you think that there's a lot of potential in this category, this niche, and you can actually improve on those designs, maybe you can even kind of perfect the titles or the description or keywords basically in general that are used, then I would say go for it. The fact that there is like 1 million BSR, it means that it is getting sales. So there is potential there. I see some of my products that I listed, let's say in 2019, just start selling all of a sudden, and I don't know if it's like a seasonal change or sometimes maybe there's something that happens in the news, or who knows, maybe something viral uh, happens where people get an idea for that category of product, and then it starts selling. So I would say, yeah, don't worry about the time unless it's like related specifically. Let's say if we're going to talk about politics, if it's related to an election that happened 8 years ago or 4 years ago, right? So yeah, I would say go for it, especially if you found a niche that works. Uh, how did you get sales when you first started? Did you promote designs on social media like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook? Did you make all your own designs or pay a designer? And where did you get the idea for the designs? So let's take this, I guess, question by question. Did you promote designs on social media? Yes, I did. Actually, back then when I was in lower tiers, I remember promoting every single product. And again, keep in mind, we didn't have 66 product options. Back then, it was maybe like 3 or 4 or 5. And I did. I remember pinning, like Pinterest was my number one. Every single product in every single color. And, I would pin it on different boards. I was on Facebook. This was a couple of years ago. It made more sense. Instagram, pretty much anything that you can think of. So absolutely. Did you make all your own designs or pay a designer? So at first I started with simple text-based designs, and later on I got into, I was combining graphics and other things. But I would say that my experience back then was very like just basic. And I did go through a couple of phases of actually ordering like bulk designs, and I think I did a video on that maybe like a year, 2 years ago, where I spent $5. I might have even spent more on Fiverr, and then you get like 5,000 designs. Of course, those are not to be used the way that you get them, but if you edit them, if you add certain text, change the graphics, then you're allowed to actually put them on your product. So I did that, and that worked. Later on, even right now, there's certain platforms that I do use where they have print ready designs, and it's part, you have a license and everything, and all that is in my descriptions in all my videos. So there are different things, but right now, basically, I just use automation tools where I can actually, design probably hundreds of them, of designs every day if I need to, because for me it's important that it's scalable, and that's kind of my approach to the whole thing right now. But yeah, uh, back then I was basically doing whatever I could because I had absolutely no experience. And where did you get the ideas for the designs? You know what? At the beginning, again, amateur moves. I would just come up with things that I thought were, clever, that made sense, the things that I would want to wear. And, a lot of times that didn't work, but sometimes it did. And then, back then I was kind of into kind of chasing trends. I would see what the best sellers are. But right now I'm very systematic in covering kind of which categories I want, and just kind of going into them fully, because I have my tier currently allows me to do that. So yeah, I've tried everything. I would say do whatever kind of makes sense for your um, skill level, and then also your budget as well. So let's get to the last one, because this is an interesting one, um, and I think you brought up a few good points that I've kind of thought about um, over the last couple of years. So the comment goes, I loved your video, appreciate the updates, and I hope this month be your best month this year, which actually it was for June. So thank you. I have a question for you. A while ago, I got a tier 500 account. Today marks exactly 50 days since I started my journey with merch. I've been consistent and managed to make 25 sales during this time. 25 sales, 50 days. Okay, I'm not sure if this is a tier 500 or 50. I'm not even sure if there is a tier 50. But if it's 500, that's fine. So you've made 25 sales in the last 50 days. However, I'm facing a challenge in finding shirt designs that sell. In my first month, 3 different designs sold, and they still sell occasionally. But this month, I haven't been able to find another successful design. I've tried different methods, but it seems like mostly it's random to me, and I can't have a system or path to follow, because I feel I need to change my ways when having no sales, and I keep doing that, and that's a maze I don't want to be at. The only thing I'm certain about is that I'm targeting low competition niches. Is there something I'm missing that could help me find more successful designs more quicker? Not trying to avoid challenges or hardship of this business, but I'm hoping for some guidance. By the way, I'm not doing any kind of advertising whatsoever. So this is an interesting. So this is let's go to the question directly. The only thing I'm certain about is that I'm targeting low competition niche. Is there something I'm missing that could help me find more successful designs quicker? My opinion is that you are on the right track when it comes to the approach. You're actually very thoughtful. It looks like there's a plan involved, and you're right. You don't want to change your strategy based on one bad week or bad month, and think that those designs won't sell. The thing is, I think this is going to come down to probably money and advertising. I actually get a lot of criticism for not advertising, not putting a lot of money into advertising, and which I actually agree with. So what you have here is I've gone through this a number of times, and I've honestly I've uploaded sometimes hundreds, maybe even 1,000 designs, and just get a few sales. If sometimes I'll upload hundreds of designs and get absolutely no sales. And the good thing is here that you're actually identifying that these are low competition niches, and sometimes for whatever reason, visibility or who knows, um, certain designs or products don't start selling for a while. Sometimes I'll upload something and then a few months will go by and I'll start getting regular sales, but nothing for the first couple of months. I've also uploaded things and then within a 24 hours I would start getting sales, and then all of a sudden it just stops and I never get another sale. So that's the kind of thing that is a challenge. I think what you're kind of feeling is the challenge or hardship of this business. And then I'll just kind of comment further on what I said about that it will come down to money. Uh, if again, depending on your budget, if there is one, your skill level and all that when it comes to advertising and marketing, there are a few different things that you can do. You can concentrate on social media, and let's say you don't put any ads into that, but it's just like you're just developing a social media presence. This could be on Instagram. It can be on whatever you want, right? Pinterest. A lot of people forget about Pinterest. Even Twitter can work sometimes, depending on how you use it. So you can do that, and that doesn't cost anything unless, of course, you want to run ads. But you're gonna have to be really good. You're gonna have to be very active. You're gonna be resourceful. Who knows? Maybe even develop relationships, on Instagram, and kind of do like cross promotion, all those kinds of things, because there are a lot of options that you can do. Or the advertising, and again, I am in the same boat here because I don't, and a lot of people are saying you're crazy, like tier 20,000 and you're not running ads aggressively. Like you're not spending thousands of dollars in ads every month, which you could, because that, of course, if you do it correctly, will generate a lot of sales. So not taking those things into consideration, I think what you're doing is perfect. You're definitely on the right path. It could always be the quality of your designs. It could be the keywords, the titles, and all that kind of stuff. So even if you've identified a niche that is a low competition niche, it might be worth. And of course, I understand that being in a lower tier. I don't know if this is tier 500 or 50. But depending on how many products you can upload, it might be worth uploading the same design, but with different titles and descriptions and brand names, but within the same kind of category, just using different keywords to test things out. But yeah, to answer your question kind of like directly and in the most simple way is, there are no tricks unless you're throwing money at it. This is just kind of like the pain of the growth process. And thinking back, there are definitely a lot of things that I would have done differently, especially buying myself out of tier 10 and not waiting months to kind of make those 10 sales or 25 sales. Because if you can go from tier 10 to 100 or 500 by spending some money that you maybe have, it's worth it, right? But again, what you've described, I would say is perfect. It's hard to kind of not to lose that motivation, especially when you're putting in all that work and sometimes it doesn't pay off. But again, think of this as a big, huge opportunity and a long-term game. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Sorry everybody for just kind of leaving this on the screen. This is probably more of a background noise video than an entertaining video, but I really wanted to go into these topics and talk about this because it's actually very interesting and very, I would say, useful information. So anyways, thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.